Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bjornholm, where today we're going to be heading up to the transport company with some canola. We've only got about 2 loads worth, just under 2 loads worth in storage, so I have to come up with something to do after that. We also have the 2 T6s, as I promised, out on the fields, ploughing them up, ready. Getting them ready to pretty much get seeded up again. So if I head, I'm trying to figure out the best way to the transport company, and I think it is in fact heading this way. Not straight into a building, but up around that loop there. Oops. Okay, so now I actually have steering control, kind of. No, I don't. Yeah, this way. Those rocks look like they're floating and they're annoying me. I get really OCD sometimes, and it's scary. But yes, we're going to the transport company, and we're going to be dumping canola with them because they apparently want lots of canola to ship out, which I don't mind. I've got lots, well, not lots, but some canola, literally some canola to give them. I'm going to be planting up barley on every field for the next round of harvests. I did, if you didn't already notice, which really you should have at this point, I did finish the harvest off screen. I sold off all of the bales off screen as well, so that's all sorted. And I did nothing else off screen. I just moved things around. I brought up the second plough so that you wouldn't have to watch me driving around trying to find them. Well, I knew where it was. You wouldn't have to watch me drive down to the shop and then drive back up while trying to figure out why my sound wasn't working. As it turned out, the sound mixer had crashed and not told me. So there's where the milk is made. Yep, that's a milk factory. If you know nothing about farming, it's quite obvious that milk is made there, and there are no animals whatsoever involved. And chickens come from the chicken factory, and eggs are made in the egg factory. No animals whatsoever involved in food. I said that. Okay, disclaimer: if you genuinely believed me, sorry, but I was lying. That was a joke. I have seen. That is a really cool way to have a garage. No, I have seen, like, studies show and questionnaires and forms and things. Well, not forms, but interviews have shown that some people who live in cities their whole lives and who have no farming experience whatsoever, no experience out on a farm, were really confused to find out that chickens and eggs, well, chickens made eggs. They genuinely thought eggs came from an egg factory where the eggs were made. Similarly, they thought chicken breasts didn't come from the animal chicken, and they came from the chicken breast factory. They were similarly confused when told that milk came from a cow, which also gave them beef. I dread to think what they would have thought about pigs, bacon and ham. Because that's, they're all one and the same. Bacon and ham come from the same animal, and it is the best animal in the world, as it gives us bacon and sausages. And I believe in Ireland there are things called black and white pudding. It's pretty much pig entrails ground up. White pudding is just pig entrails ground up, and various offal from pigs ground up. Black pudding is much the same, but with more blood. I believe in the UK it's actually known as blood pudding for that reason. We got 46,000 euros. That is a nice number. What were we gonna buy? Animals. Yes, animals. I haven't forgotten. Mostly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this tractor back up. Well, I'm going to finish setting off the canola, and I just want to get a final number on how much we actually have to spend, because if I want sheep, which I do, as a result of the rules, if I want sheep, I'm gonna want a forage wagon. And I want a forage wagon because, well, then I don't have to be bringing bales around. I don't mind having to, drive all the way around the map to get to the sheep. I'll also need a pallet fork, I suppose. That's something I didn't think of. But I don't mind having to drive around for the time being, at least, to get to the sheep. Because while they're out of the way, I will be expanding in that direction eventually. I would also, oh, do I have enough for the amount of sheep I need? Yes, I do. Because if you remember, a few episodes ago, quite a while ago now, but earlier on this series, I said I would get 1 sheep for each subscriber I have. And today, which is Sunday, I hit a personal milestone of subscribers. Now, it needs to be explained. This needs to be explained a bit because it is a seemingly random number. If you have ever read or watched or listened to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you can just tune out for a moment, and feel free to do that and just skip ahead or something. Or you could listen in and listen to me trying to explain the significance of the number 42. 42, according to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was written by Douglas Adams, who unfortunately has passed away. The Hitchhiker's Guide being, of course, a 5-part trilogy. Or is it 6 parts now? Yes, a 5-part trilogy. Which was intentionally written, and I kid you not, it started off as a radio play, I should say. It started off as a radio play on the BBC because they wanted some sci-fi. And then it became a TV series, and Douglas Adams wrote both. The TV series almost completely contradicted the radio series, so Douglas Adams decided to write some books about the Hitchhiker's Guide because both the TV series and the radio series were quite successful. And in the books he contradicted the TV series. The first book called it, obviously, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In the second book, in the subsequent books, he tried to contradict himself and the other books and the TV series and the radio play and the movies. Well, the movies were made to contradict the books. Sorry, the books were made to contradict each other and the TV series and the radio play. And then he kept bringing out books, and he wrote the books to contradict each other. And then there was a rather famous film in the early 2000s based on a screenplay that Douglas Adams had written for the movie, which contradicted the books. Basically, Douglas Adams was wonderfully insane. Absolutely wonderfully insane. And not in a bad way, might I add. He was the kind of insane guy you don't feel bad laughing at because he's a stand-up comedian and he just comes out with the weirdest jokes that really make sense if you think about it, but don't make sense in general. But in the books, Earth was made by mice, and the mice made the Earth to answer a question. No, they didn't. No, I apologize, I am wrong. In the books and the movie, this is one thing that is solid in everything. There is a computer. The computer is called Deep Thought. And Deep Thought was designed to answer the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Now, Deep Thought waited and waited and waited and thought and thought and thought. And one day it announced that it had an answer, so humanity and everybody that was sentient, essentially, showed up to deep thought and said, whoa, great deep thought, what is the answer? They never thought of asking what the question was, and that was a problem, because the answer the deep thought gave was 42. Nobody can make sense of the reasoning behind this, and nobody ever figured out the question. As it turned out, throughout the rest of the books, and this is kind of a quick plot synopsis of the Hitchhiker's Guide, because it revolves around the number 42, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. And if you Google the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, it will give you the number 42. But as it turned out through the books, it was revealed that if anybody found the actual question of life, the universe, and everything, the ultimate question, the universe as it was known would end, and a new one that was far more complicated would take its place. Just so that the answer is not supposed to be known, basically. If the answer is found, it's kind of a Matrix situation. If you watch the Matrix trilogy, where everything ends and a new Matrix takes its place, which is far more convoluted and confusing. But that's the explanation behind the significance of 42. And today, when I logged on, I knew it from emails I'd gotten checked earlier on this morning, but when I logged onto my computer, I was pleasantly surprised to see exactly 42 subscribers. I was intending to do a special for this, but screw it, no. I ran out of time, basically, because I've been working on things and stuff. So, 70,000. I don't have enough to buy both things. I really don't, because I need to buy the other thing as well. So, yeah, 42 is my significant number for no reason whatsoever. What am I going to do about the sheepies? The cows I kind of have sorted, essentially. The sheep, however, I'm going to buy... what do I need to do the cheapies? Need a mower, because screw moving the other mower around. I'll buy the Eurobus 330, and I'll also need, in time, but I'll get it now just so that's there, a pellet fork. And that's it, really. So I have 42 subscribers, so let's get 42 sheep. This is probably a terrible idea. And look at my money running down. Oh, they're more expensive than I thought. Oh dear. And I'll get one more just to, as me, I suppose. And we'll get 10 cows, if I can afford it. Okay, then 6 cows. So you'll notice that I bought two things. The T6, there's a T6 down at the shop, I should say, and the T6 is going to bring the stuff to the sheep. The John Deere I'm driving, 6810, is going to be working on the cows. This is pretty much the tractor I'll use at the cow farm, because that's going to be, in time, full-time. It's going to need a tractor full-time with all the things that I'm going to be throwing at it. So I'm going to be bringing John Deere and the mixing wagon, which is still at the shop but attached to a T6 now. I'm going to be bringing these down to the cows. And attaching this weight over here, because I've got a feeling it'll come in useful eventually again. I'll just leave it at the shop for various things. And because this still works amazingly. More on the front. That more looks huge. Fire dragon on the back. And now I'm going to go up and bring this up to the sheepies. This way, I suppose. And let's get some Let's get some grass as I'm going up. Because yes, this is a cheaty way of getting grass. A cheaty way. But it works. So I will never complain. I know it would also be useful for the straw, but part of me likes baling. So I'm not going to complain too much about the baling taking a long time. This is going to take a while, however, because I'm running I'm running lower horsepower than I probably should be to be able to move this thing at max speed. Also, I'm wiping out every single bit of destructible, well, movable, wipe-outable terrain there is on this side of the road. Oh well. These things are made to be hit. That's my argument. And that's what I'm going to be sticking with. So I don't think I'm actually going to get enough grass by the time I get over to the sheep, comically enough. I'm going to just keep mowing and I know I'm supposed to be staying on the roads, but it makes so much more sense to just drive along the verges like this when I want grass. I'm not going to get enough grass by the time I get to the sheep, am I? This is a slight annoyance. If I had a T8 or a big M, I wouldn't have any problems. I'd just big M an area of grass and then come along with this forage wagon and pick it up. In fact, if the big M had a rear attacher, I could just swathe it all up and drive along with this thing behind it. That would be amazing, actually. I might check if the big M has a rear attacher. Might do some testing off screen. That would be awesome. And amazingly cheaty. Which... yes, I don't like cheating, but it would be cheating in a funny way, which is kind of acceptable. I should point out at this point that my method of playing games, generally, Farm Sim is the bizarre exception. But with most games, I tend to try and do what shouldn't be done. And you've seen I've done it in Farm Sim a few times where I just say, oh well, this works. That's how I play every game. It's just like, I wonder how I can do this in the weirdest way possible, or in an unintended way. Like I was playing Saints Row, I stole a tank, and that made 5 missions very, very easy. Because I just one-shot missions. Fired 1 tank shell and won a mission. Also, an apparently intended way was to do strongholds in Saints Row without firing a single bullet. Saints Row 4, might I add, you could use the explosive mined bullets. Well, that's the best way I can describe it. Explosive mined bullets. And yeah, that caused chain explosions of people, and yeah, one shot everything. Oh, it was so good. So easily abused in missions though. Just, oh, clear out this room. Okay, boom, thump, 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 thump. Done. Yeah. So this is half full. Good. Good. I'm gonna bring it over to the sheep now and just see. I'm essentially there. Just need to drive up around here. The sheep are over here. I don't know where the wool pallets spawn, which is potentially a problem. Because oh, there. Okay. So, let's just give them some grass. And now you can see why I use Glimpse, because it's essentially Animal HUD and Inspector all in one. Oh, I had enough grass for the sheepies. I can't disconnect these things because they're by a tip point. So I'll just disconnect them over by this surprisingly American barn in Norway. I'm not going to question that. So I'm just going to leave the T6 here. And I need to stop up another T6 now. That's the TC5. That's the John Deere. This is the guy that's finished, that's convenient. So, I'm just going to clean off the edge of this field and then going to end the episode because, oops, I can see we're running just over 20 minutes now, 20 and a half minutes to be exact. And yes, that's why I turned on create fields. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Course play will never work again. Possibly. Okay, so that's... I'm gonna have to figure a way to fix that. I pressed one wrong button and oh my god, that's gonna be problems forever. So, just gonna finish this off on screen. And in the next episode, we're gonna be sorting out the cows and starting to seed the fields up. And of course, whatever we get done in the next episode, I'll finish it off screen. So let's load up the field 30 course. Ready to go. And I will leave you now by saying I have been Rainbow Dave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Bjornholm. I am lost. Nothing new there, of course, but at this point, no. Where am I supposed to even? Oh, up here. I'm not lost anymore. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, all of that things. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much once again for watching, and goodbye.